Hello all, welcome back to my channel. My name is GK. So in this video, I'm going to address one common question and one tough question that people ask me more often in my comments, and a lot of people who are trying to switch their career into DevOps or cloud. So they ask me, is it a requirement to learn coding or programming or scripting? I'm going to put all these three into one category, but people ask me, is it actually required? So I'm going to answer this question in three parts. So the first part is, do you actually need? I'm going to give you the straight answer if you need, yes or no. The second part is, how much do you need, and like I'm going to give you an example in your day-to-day job of a DevOps or a cloud engineer, how much do they need and what tasks are more related to that. In the third part, I'm going to try and answer, if you are asking me to pick one programming language, which one do I pick out of a lot of programming languages, and which one I think I personally would suggest you to practice getting into this role. For those who are new to this channel, my name is GK and I present a lot of good content on cloud and a lot of good new technologies. So it's an awesome place to be here, and you can subscribe to my channel to not to miss this stuff and click on bell icon. So getting into the subject, the first part of the video is, do you actually need to learn coding, or do you have to be a good programmer or a coder? So the answer is yes. But you don't have to learn programming to an extent of a software developer or a person who is going to write software or web development, or you don't have to learn the algorithms. You don't have to learn all that stuff, but you have to have the aptitude, you have to have the ability to think logically to solve a problem. Now, if you look at the skills that are there in the market for DevOps or cloud, take any skills, and you can look at my previous video as well, the top skills that I've said. They always would prefer a candidate who has good experience in one of the programming languages. It could be Node, it could be Java, it could be Python, but they generally do that. So it's not a mandatory skill, but it's a very good add-on skill. So when I said it's a very good add-on skill, if there are like 100 people who are applying for the job, and they would definitely will pick the guy who has mixture of the DevOps tool skills and cloud skills, but also who has very good understanding of solving problems by writing the code. And if I have to take my example, when I attended a lot of interviews, I had to write scripts in Python and Shell and sometimes core Java, but I would come into that part, the third part of this video. But honestly, even in spite of having 10 years of experience, they were asking questions in scripting, and they would ask me even to write a shell script. So for people who are really paranoid about programming or coding, I would suggest at least start with scripting, learn the basics of shell scripting, Perl, or at least start working around Python. So I hope this answers your first part of the question, do you actually need programming? Coming to the second part, in which tasks of DevOps or cloud you actually need to write code? So I'll give you some examples. Now, you joined a company as a 2 years DevOps engineer, or a fresher, or an experienced engineer, 4 to 5 years. Let's keep it that way for now. Now you join a company, and your first task is to write the Jenkins pipeline, and they would ask you to automate the pipeline by using Jenkins 2.0, Jenkins as a code. Now the bare minimum, as you know, is that it accepts Groovy scripts, right? So you should know at least how to write the Groovy script. Now you cannot give that task to a junior engineer, because you are DevOps engineer, you have to be equipped to write the minimum scripting for that. So that's one example in DevOps. Or again, if I take another tool, for example, Ansible or Puppet. As you all know, most of the things you can do in Ansible is with the default modules itself, like shell and other modules. You can pretty much accomplish any task. But let's say you have to write your own module in Python. So you should know how to write that module that's not part of Ansible default modules. So these are some of the examples, and even with Puppet you have to write Ruby, and take any role, even if you become a security engineer or a networking engineer as part of DevOps, or even machine learning or something, any role you take, there is some amount of scripting or programming that you have to write. Now if I take another example in cloud, now as a cloud engineer, you write CloudFormation templates, and you do also write sometimes CDK in CloudFormation in AWS, or cloud functions or Lambda functions. You have to terminate some instances, or you have to bring up some instances, or you have to write an ETL job for your data engineer role in cloud. So these tasks and these jobs do require, as you know, you can ask many people who are in this field, they require some sort of Python programming to write, like, you know, to write a Lambda function or a cloud function. It's easier to write it in Python or Node and then accomplish the task. So these are the examples, and at least now you can know that when you're stepping into the role, so you might get into this stuff, and you have to be ready for that. Even if you don't know or you somehow crack the interview, but you have to be ready to face these kind of challenges. The third part of the video, if I have to pick one, which one would I pick? So personally, for this role, like I've said, you know, this is a good add-on for cloud and DevOps engineer. And if I have to pick one, I personally would pick Python any day, because Python is not only good for your machine learning, and you know, it is good for your data science sort of a things. You can pretty much accomplish a lot of tasks with this language. So that I would pick. And for people who are asking me questions on, you know, which one would I pick, I think I answered this question to you. And if you want to learn anything else, feel free to learn core Java at least, or you know, Node.js and stuff. But Python is bare minimum to start with, and practice a lot with Python. And it's easier programming language. Its syntax is very easy. You can write. The indentation is a bit headache, but the rest of the things are pretty much easy. And that should be enough at your role as a DevOps engineer or as a cloud engineer to learn Python and do complete tasks, solve your problems using Python. So I hope I have answered the question for you all, for people who are coming into this role sufficiently with some examples. But if you do not agree with me, feel free to comment in this video. And you know, if you have any questions, let me know in the comment section. And if you do like this video, click on like and do subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching this video. Take care of yourself. Bye.